Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Abby. I'm fresh out of the testing center. I just took it 30 minutes ago. I just walked out of that. But I wanted to share with you guys how I passed it as a student while still being in school, still working, still having stuff to do at home, and still attending church and that type of thing. The first thing I did was actually quit my old job in retail and get a new job working at the airport. And I did this because I knew that if I'm surrounded by people that are doing what I want to do in the future, pilots, if you're surrounded by pilots and their students and CFIs, flying instructors,
you know, choose your friends wisely because they're your future. Show me your friends, I'll show you your future. Yeah, same thing.
The second thing that I did was soak up information. Keep in mind that I was a student pilot starting at block number -0. I didn't know anything. Well, I knew a little bit of what I had Googled, but
dudes.
But before I pulled out a credit card, before I pulled out my debit card, before you pull out any cash, go to the airport and listen. At the airport at work, every day, every single time I learned something new. I listened to pilots talking, I listened to students, I listened to CFIs, I heard what the CFIs said about the students, I heard about the mistakes students made. So before I bought anything to study for my written, I listened to people and I talked to people and got their information on it. Step number 3, things actually start happening. Studying, you knew it was going to come. So after gathering information at the airport and deciding that I wanted to take my written before doing any flight training, I had to figure out what I wanted for my online course and then for my textbooks. You don't have to do both, but most people do both because it's really nice to have online kind of on your phone or laptop and be able to go with you wherever you want. And the 3 main companies are Sporties, King, and Jepson. And I was going to get Sporties or King, but I ended up getting Jepson for free because the director of aviation at the university that I want to transfer to, he told me that he would give it to me if I planned my written for this date, and if I actually passed, he would give it to me, no problem, don't worry about it. I'm so thankful that he did that because those courses are $250, $300, $400. They're expensive, so that was a huge blessing and I'm so thankful he gave it to me. But now I had my online format of studying and that was really great because I had it on my laptop, so I would just study every night after I did my normal regular school. And then for textbooks, I got all of them for free too, and I'll explain how. So the first one is this one. It's the supplement that you're going to be testing with for the actual test. The examiner dude, person that tests with you is going to give you this, and this is the exact thing that I used and I wrote in at the test 30 minutes ago. So I got this for free from a friend, a pilot friend who I met at a pilot event at the airport, and he gave it to me for free, and I'm going to give it back to him, but he let me borrow it. Rotating plotter, which I recommend the rotating because it's a billion times easier. This was free from my pilot friend, I'm returning it to him. This very beautiful E6B was also for my pilot friend, I'm returning it to him. And then I got this ASA. I really like ASA. People also say they like Gleim, but Gleim kind of had too many questions and answers. It was kind of overwhelming. So I picked ASA, and this was free from my library, and it's 2 years old, but I mean it was 2017 when I started studying. And this, which is mandatory, some of it is free online, but it's a lot to read online, obviously. So this is also a year old, but I started reading this in 2017. So yeah.
But I had all my studying materials and then my online thing on my laptop.
The plotter and all this stuff, and then the 3 textbooks, and then my online Jepson course. My routine for studying was I would do regular school every single day, and then at night I would study in Jepson, and that was for the whole month of January into the middle of February. So it took me a month and a half to finish Jepson with school and everything. And then after I finished the course, I started taking just a ton of practice exams to find out where my weaknesses were, and then once I found them out, to focus on that and to study on that. And I would take 1 practice exam every day for 2 weeks before the test, and then a week before the test I took 2 practice exams, and I would do it in the morning and then at night. Nothing that I said makes any sense, but here's Jepson. This is what it looks like on the laptop, and I would go in here and try to do a lesson or 2 per day. Days where they were longer lessons, I would just do half of a lesson. And even though my studying materials were kind of all over the place, what I was learning in Jepson normally did line up with the ASA book, and then I would have practice exams in the ASA book too. This is normally what it looked like when I was studying, have the sectionals and everything laid out and my notebook. I would have post-it notes, so every time I took a fake exam, I would record my grade, and this one happened to be 100%, but they were not all 100%. Here you can see I took maybe 15 total, I don't know, and then my notebook, and I tried to do color coding, didn't really work out, but this is my Jepsen notebook. Number 6 is the final step. It took me a month and a half to finish Jepsen. Now all there was to do was study as much as I could, take fake exams and find out where my weak points were, and talk to more people and get more information, but basically just a lot of studying. And I will say I would have gotten this sooner because I got it only 5 days before the exam, but other than that, I don't really regret anything. The fake exams showed me that weight and balance, location of CG, and VOR was kind of my weak point, so I studied and I did extra calculations and I really studied up on those, and then the actual exam today, I didn't have any questions on VOR or weight and balance. So when it comes to what I wish I would have done differently, there isn't really much because there's so much information. I feel like I was studying the things that I thought for sure I would get on, or at least one of them, but both of those categories I didn't even get on my test at all. So it's so random and it comes from such a big pool of questions that it's kind of hard to know what you're going to get on your exam. So much for watching. I hope you guys have a great week. If you still have questions, leave them down in the comments and I'll have links to more supplies and stuff in the down bar below. My family is making dinner and it's kind of loud, and then my sister is practicing piano. So I'm gonna sign off. See you guys next time. Puppy, don't talk about taxes when I'm filming. So it's gonna be really loud. But a lot of what I studied, my dad's talking about how he was an only child.
My father's making dinner. He doesn't know what paprika looks like. The house is in turmoil.
I think you found it. I think we're good. I think we can do this now.